It's in the sense of me, kinda like those bullies in high school. Behind the scenes was catastrophe. So could everyone quit telling me what I had to be? Just to be simple with you, brother, I'm truly glad to be a fuck up. Cause right now I'm down, so homie, what's up? I know I didn't grow to get here by being stuck up. Some people out seeing how much energy they can suck up, but I'm filling the cup up, passing it to my brothers. Maybe one day I'll buy a house for my mother. Up on the mountain, awesome, helipad so I can visit often. Send my dad golfing off with Steve Austin, stone cold focused. Cause I'm looking for my way to the top. I've been working all day, working all night. Some people telling me to just stop, but I can't leave my family hungry, sleeping at night. There's no way, no. There's no way. There's no way, no. There's no way for me to come home. It's been a minute now, milking every opportunity. I should get a cow, never seen an obstacle that I couldn't get around. But I'm not from royalty, so I didn't get a crown. These thoughts were written down for those who sit and frown. Complain every day about the blessings they were given. How do you suppose those bros in Africa are living now? Maybe you could see the light if I could shift the clouds. So I'll try, but man, look how time flies. This year came and went like drive-bys. Mama still says she's surprised by my size, but this cat survives, still got my 9 lives. So what you wanna do? Go home, relax for 5 days cause you wanted to. I'd rather be out in Bombay, but I ain't mad at you. I'm not at home to stay, I'm just passing through. There's things I have to do, cause I'm looking for my way to the top. I've been working all day, working all night. Some people telling me to just stop, but I can't leave my family hungry, sleeping at night. There's no way, no. There's no way. There's no way, no. There's no way for me to come home. I've been in the office, they asking me where I'm off. I'm thinking that I fell off, it's a bad decision to start off with. If I don't call back, don't be mad at me. Home with family is surely somewhere that I'd rather be. I've been on the road for just too long, hoping that I'll come soon. No, when that'll be, man, who knows? Guarantee I'll have something to show. Most of y'all.
What is up, everybody? We are live. We are here. It is July 19th. What a beautiful day in the metaverse. Look, it's sunny out. It's always a beautiful day. Look at this. And we owe it a grand debt of gratitude to the Rocket Gallery and Jin Architect. I'm here in his magnificent build. We're here to learn more about this movement that is stemming from another part of the world. This isn't something that you would have seen coming from America. No, this is cultural, delivering some cultural greatness here into On Cyber. So without further ado, I would like to have our host here, Jin. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself? Whatever. Hello, hello. Love it. Well, we're lucky. I've never seen a build like this before, so, you know, first of all, I want to know, so you're an architect in real life as well. You know, now you're pioneering here in this virtual landscape. I'm curious to learn more about that. Like, tell me a bit about like your journey in doing real architecture. Like, have you ever built anything like this, or is this something like where you're pushing the boundaries of what you've done in real life? Tell me a bit about that.
Just a difference between the real and unreal is, there is no gravity here.
Yes.
So that's a big difference. So you don't even need any like a structural enhancement. So that you can save a lot of money to
Totally.
build.
And
Yes.
and what are the kinds of like so when you're building, are you typically building like commercial spots in real life, like residential, like what kind of like real life builds are you
Well,
usually focused on?
Yes, I've been doing many type of buildings, like
Yeah.
from commercial or institutional or residential as well. So recently, I'm really getting into the small like residential buildings, which
Amazing.
is very fun.
Yeah. And so
Mm.
when you started to explore building this space, was there
Hmm.
anything from the start that you said, I have to make sure this has this like what idea did you start with? Were you starting with doing something that you never done before? Were you take like tell me a bit about that?
Oh, you mean the start designing this building?
Yeah. Like
Whoa.
what were your thoughts around that?
Oh, okay. Well, the I thought the I can explain about like how I built. I mean the design, the art galleries.
Well, why don't you
Uh,
walk us through the different rooms and you can kind of tell us a bit about the different,
okay.
like how different rooms sort of like, how maybe you had different ideas for different rooms. Like this one right here looks like
Hmm.
a ultimate lounge for any sort of team meetup. Like I can imagine meeting up with my team
Right,
here.
right. I thought we gonna have a meeting like here, but
This is perfect. Oh wow.
okay,
And look out the window here. It's beautiful.
okay. Actually, I can show you some like presentation here.
Oh wonderful. Oh,
Is that
perfect.
okay?
Yeah.
Like okay, and then I can explain like how I design art galleries as well.
Wow, this is amazing. Thank you, Jin. This is
So it's
how
okay
hard
because
was it hard for you to put like did on cyber like you I see you have this presentation here. Like is this broadcasting from your computer? Is this like already embedded? Like tell me about that.
yes, I created this presentation in some system called Prezi.
Mm.
You see the logo.
Yeah, it looks
At
amazing.
yes, and then yes, I'm broadcasting from my PC.
Wow.
So okay,
This looks like something this looks like just super well done. Like it's super clean. Wow, I'm just really impressed. Whoever's watching this, take notes. This is the
Yeah.
right way to do it.
sorry, I mean, it doesn't quite work well now
No, it's okay.
for some reason.
I know Prezi has like
Mm.
yeah, Prezi is its own experience. Like it has its own flow. You
Own
know,
life.
it can do a
Yeah.
lot. You know.
Yeah.
Okay, why it doesn't move to the next slide?
I think
Oh,
Okay.
it
maybe I
worked.
think it's a scroll. I think yeah, maybe I don't know. Wow, that's
It was okay when I created.
yeah.
oh maybe it's
Yeah.
in an
Oh,
edit mode or
okay.
something like that right now.
No,
Yeah.
it's not. Okay.
We can start here.
Yeah, okay.
Tell me
Give me some
why are
time.
virtual galleries boring? Tell me what should we do? What should we look
Okay,
at?
okay. These are the questions I have sometimes when I visit like virtual galleries. Like sometimes I feel like boring or like
Hmm.
I'm always like wondering if I should come back again or not.
Totally.
Hmm.
Oh,
You can keep the questions there, Jin.
hmm? Okay.
Uh,
Yeah. Okay. Oh, okay. Now it's working.
okay.
Okay. So I thought that one of the main major reason is uh, like the question I come up with is like who wants to be like stand out just like a movie star
Mm-hmm.
in uh, virtual gallery, but in reality everyone on of these like players plays important roles in a gallery, right?
What's going on?
So the
We got a visitor here who said hello, Gallifate.
Hello.
okay, hello. So the okay.
So I see here the difference between art gallery and other types of virtual environments. Interesting.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we have thinking a lot about this, me and Jean, and probably a lot more creators, how to, create exciting galleries and how to obtain, visitors to come and check out the gallery and, um, and keep it like updated and fun.
Totally.
So one thing that we have been thinking about is implanting gamification into galleries somehow.
Absolutely. I totally agree. Like, there's so many different levels of gamification. I mean, well, are there any immediately that you think are going to be particularly stand out or that you think you want to try out?
I think Jean and I will try out, because it's so new. The market is so new, and it's difficult to know what people want to do.
Absolutely.
So,
Well, that you got to ask. We just got to get out. We're going to be out here asking and like testing things out. One example actually I think might be super easy. This week we're going to be doing actually next Monday, before On Cyber Mondays, we're going to be doing a bingo event. You can do bingo in On Cyber like with no code, no anything. Like there are some really easy tools using the broadcast. Not using like a regular link from a website, like browser link. You can set up a bingo night thing in these spaces. So I think a huge part of it isn't. Even having discussions like this, I love that you put these seats in a circle that kind of like encourage, a sort of discussion in this space. I think that's crucial.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, yeah. Let's see what you wrote there. Like one thing also I think is difficult is to obtain a community around a gallery as well. I mean, I really don't know any, really solid galleries, that has hold a lot of people in longer time. So
Yeah, I mean, all the ones that I've seen really focus on the gallery events being a destination, but not the journey per se. Like I think a lot of people think about the destination. I want to drop an NFT. I want to, have an event. But like I think the more successful projects are also thinking about the journey element. So for instance, maybe before the drop event, maybe there's a series of discussions around the topic of the theme of the gallery. So maybe the gallery event is around, maybe like more abstract art. So maybe before, you have a series of like, even it could be workshops around creating abstract art so people could learn a bit and start creating some work of their own. And that way, like they collaborate in the space, they get a sense of what it takes to make this art. And so later when you say, hey, now we have this abstract art legend who's going to come do a gallery event, they're like, whoa, I know how hard it is to make this stuff, and this guy's a legend. Like this, I think as artists, like the thing that really brings value to our art is the more that people understand what it takes to make it. So like a lot of the times when we're creating events, a lot of people are just thinking about like showing people what we made, but we need to show them the process. And if we use these spaces the right way, we're giving people an opportunity to be a part of the process. And in that sense, like when the gallery event comes, not only do they understand the difficulty and the challenges around what it took to get there, but also they'll start to have a sense of like ownership over, I helped, raise this to getting to that level. And so I want to be at that event. And so I think, those kinds of things are what really set the foundation for like successfully building a community in these spaces.
Yeah, that's a great point of view. And also I'm thinking of what I want to see like in galleries is like active artists, like they are really there and talk to curators, talk to their collectors or fans.
Totally.
So that's something that we want to accomplish, like have an artist that is really active and understand this technology and the space.
Absolutely.
And also I'm thinking like I have been listening to a lot of artists. A lot of them don't know to use these platforms,
Truth.
and I think that's
It-
something that we need to like teach them. Like okay, you have this space and you can talk to people and you can connect to them in another way, I think, than you are.
Absolutely. Like
If you're using Twitter for an example, it's just you just can hear the voice, and it's not so fun. At least I think it's not so fun to listen to.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think it's also limiting in how we can teach people about what we do. Like if you think about it, like Twitter Spaces, the goal of these spaces is for people who are there to be able to learn and grow in some way, in my opinion. Whether that be to understand a perspective, whether that be to understand a new topic, to connect and express themselves with a group of people and join a community. And I think that like in Twitter Spaces, we're very limited to just a voice and what we can pin. But like here, you can have multiple people. Like you can see Jen sharing his screen right now.
Yeah.
If I'm in this conversation and I'm talking, we were talking about this software, Opus Pro, so I can like easily start sharing my screen here in this space too.
Yeah. Oh, that's fantastic. Like multi-sharing. Yeah.
So just yesterday we actually were meeting up with people and we were doing like a gaming meetup and we had multiple people, sharing their screen for their gaming. Like we're all playing different games and stuff. So like.
Oh, that's a great idea.
I mean, yeah, and these kinds of things, they literally sometimes people say, oh, these platforms, they need to make games, and I understand like adding gamification, but I don't think we should get into the OnCyber shouldn't be the bearer of making games. I think we need interoperability so we can play other games here, not necessarily ask OnCyber to start making games for us.
That's interesting. Like if I want to compare like Spatial to OnCyber, they are like developing gamification and so on. But I think like what I like about OnCyber is that I think the functionality is much better than Spatial.
I mean, that's definitely why I chose, because it's so easy. Everybody that you want to bring here, it's cost no money for someone to just get started, and even like with those free spaces that are still very beautiful, but then you can advance and say, great, now that I understand that, like with a space like this, can people purchase like this build in the marketplace right now?
No, I don't think so. Like you don't have a minted. No,
I haven't minted.
So this is an exclusive space here. So right now, like if an artist was like, hey, I think the vision here, right, is that you're gonna have different artists that are sort of residences for different parts of this gallery.
Yeah, that's a possibility.
So if those people essentially have their own, if they're given like moderator access, they can host their own little events in each one of these spaces here. In essence, you could have multiple events in this space going at once. Like imagine if you had like, 6 or 7 different artists that were hosting different like themed events or even movie nights. Like imagine if you have 7 like different artists showing different movies like in different spaces. Like that would be really cool.
Yeah. That's actually what I was thinking about, you know, when we launched this gallery. Like we should have like you know 5 to 6 different artists here or projects. So that's
100%.
something that we are looking for. Like, hi.
Hey, got Tony up in here. What's good, Tony? Oh, I jumped through the roof.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So that's something we are looking for.
I love that. And so
yeah.
what? So right now, you know, Jin, you're based in Japan. Yeah, basically, Tony, if you jump, you will go through the roof. So tell me
That's
a bit
cool.
about like where are you based? You're based in Sweden right now, correct?
Jin.
I know Jin's in Japan, but you're in Sweden,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Of course, I'm Sweden. I live in the middle of Sweden, and yeah.
We
That's
gotta
also,
we gotta get some Swedish artists up in here, and you know,
Yeah.
I think that is something I would love to see. I think is like really would really take things further is like getting people, you know, I think right now a lot of our community feels like, you know, we need to emphasize on that diversity and get people like, because this is a tool that anyone could benefit in the world, you know.
Yeah. And we actually started this project here in Sundsvall. You know, we collaborate with a physical gallery here.
Amazing.
And we created a space in actually in Spatial, where we have like local artists in. So we started with that in like 3 months ago, I think.
Yeah.
So that's a fantastic experience to you know onboard people into this space, this metaverse.
So you've already started. By the way, are you looking at the? Oh, okay. I see. I was like, okay, that's the video. I was like, cool. So you've already started talking to different creators, different artists in your space, but you still think that they don't quite understand how to like. They understand that this is a gallery, but they haven't quite figured out the experience part of it yet.
Yeah, I think most of you know people that you know actually what I'm seeing like most of the people don't know. I mean the benefits of using you know virtual galleries.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Oh, I was afraid Tony was falling from. Did you see that? Tony, I hope you're okay.
So yeah, so that was a really good experience to you know work with Web 2 people, bringing them into Web 3.
Absolutely. I mean, you're doing an amazing job here, and like I think Jin and you met. Like, I'm curious, how did you meet? Like, you're in Sweden, Jin's in Japan. Like,
Yeah.
how did this collaboration come to be?
Oh, I think it started like, is it like 1.5 years ago, Jim, or something?
About a year ago.
Yeah,
Mm.
How did you meet?
and Jin was working with a project, and I started to, approach him because I like the you know the architecture that he was working on,
Totally.
and in that way we connected. Like I think we connected really fast. Like we are pretty same personality.
Love it. And that's amazing.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like I love when you can connect with people through these spaces that,
Yeah.
you know, that's happened to me so many times. Honestly, at this point,
Yeah.
you know, some of my strongest relationships were made and sort of forged in these sort of like this digital creative crucible, you know?
Mm-mm.
And now you've built this together, and you're continuing to foster this community and bring people into this space.
Yeah.
This is going to be the first of many, and I hope that ultimately, like, I want you to walk us through here, show us the gallery. I want to get this on. I want you to tell me about what you envision for each space. And so in each space, when we go through it, let's just talk about what we envision and like maybe in that way we'll sort of manifest and attract people from the video that we have here who want to build and do events like that in each space.
Yeah. Super.
Wow, I see here you have a presentation on this presentation here on the wall for us, Jin. Like, is this a bit of the blueprint that you have up here?
Yes, like okay, like you see on this diagram, there is like a two axes from north
Yes,
south
yes.
axis and the east west axis, and the what's different from other galleries here is like on your east west axis, you are limited to just watch the artworks, and north south axis you will enjoy the view from the large windows, and then watching people moving around, and then watching people how people react in the artworks. So this idea came from like my experience when I was a kid. Like everyone in their childhood, you were enjoying watching like a smaller insects or bugs like
Yeah,
ants.
totally.
They're moving around on the ground, and then checking how they built their society. So this gallery has this kind of function,
Wow.
like you see
I can
those,
see, yeah, I can see Jules run like literally before I was thinking about that. Like,
he's running and watching something or jumping, and,
I love
Yeah.
it.
and
It's
this is
amazing.
like,
Wait, you guys
one of
stay
the
here. I'm gonna run around and you tell me what you see. You see me running around here.
Yeah. Oh, this is so cool.
Amazing. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, honestly, I will say once you mentioned that, I really like it really dawned on me like but as I was, as I was just in this build and exploring, there was a number of times where I had that sort of like I realize now I had that psychological state where I realized like, oh, there's somebody over there. I'm curiously I'm observing like what they're like. My attention was grabbed, and like that's just an amazing part of this build. I think like depending on your perspective, you can still, even right now I'm in like fly mode, and I'm just like seeing this all from a distance is just really cool.
Yeah.
This is amazing. And I feel like each one of these spaces definitely has its own personality. Like this pink room here.
Mhm.
Tell me a bit about this pink room. This is like, it kind of like, and honestly, like there's a specific color of pink that you're using here that definitely has that sort of like Japanese cherry blossom feel. Like, tell me about the color schemes that you chose here.
Well, I don't have much, the meaning on these colors. I just wanted to have a variation
Yeah.
of colors to make each space individually, like very unique.
I love it. I honestly, I would love to, I could honestly, something that comes to mind, I could see a musician dropping an album and have each one of these room or spaces be a different song.
Yeah.
That would be very nice.
Yeah.
I could, right out of the box, I could see something like that and like a sort of quest riddle type of experience. Like I could see so many. I mean, the reality that I think about is when I was living in North Carolina, like I remember them spending like millions and millions of dollars like renovating this old building for it to be something like, and people built this thing and it cost so much to maintain and it barely ever was used, and people and they couldn't even really push the boundaries of these spaces. They kind of had to stay within the sort of traditional boundaries of reality. When I see a space like this, I see cost effectiveness, I see how do you say, eco-friendliness, I see diversity, I see a way for us to transform these experiences into so many different things. Like it's just really inspiring. Even this build right here, where you have like, you know, grass all around us, like this sort of like.
Mm.
What
Right.
did you, what inspired you to sort of take this further and like say, you know what, like let's make this like an like. How did you go about thinking about this? Is this something just happened naturally when you were building it?
No, I'm just in this world, like there is no, like I said, there's no gravity here. So I really wanted to emphasize that,
Love
very
that.
unique, characteristic of virtual
Totally.
environment.
Totally.
Mm.
Well, you know what? I for one can say I want to collaborate with you on an event. I could see us doing a lot of different, you know, kinds of things. Have you ever heard of binaural beats by chance?
No,
No.
There are these kind there are these like there's this effect that can, so there's different kind of brainwave signals that you can have. They're called like theta waves, like all these kind of brain frequencies that your brain can I guess resonate with, and like there's this effect that you can actually cause your brain to start producing these kinds of brain frequencies by taking sound signals, and if you take like two tones and offset them like ever slightly, they create this sort of phasing effect. And they've done, like, if you look it up, it's called binaural beats. There's actual studies around this that, you know, you listen to these and they will start to produce different kind of brain wave that, like, you know, some are for more like, you know, meditative thought processes, some's for more like calming effects, some's for more, you know, like these are the same brave wave signals you get when you meditate. But this is like a sort of like sonic frequencies that like sort of stimulate that sort of brain signal. And I could imagine like you setting up where each space in this gallery, like me and you, we could collaborate. I could give you the audio files, and like, you know, I can put up like different you know, we could put up text in each room that sort of describes like what those brain waves are, you know, the sort of science about it. And you know, the cool thing I think is that, you know, this space that you've designed, we could create like a new version of this space that's specifically for that kind of experience
yeah.
and not disrupt your experience here. And I think like that is like the most catalyzing thing for creativity that, you know, OnCyber can offer us. Like a lot of these platforms, they give us one space that we can only do one thing with. And here we have, like, you know, we can be inspired by what you've built here and just see iteration over iteration without disrupting like each individual instance. And I think like, so I'm excited. I hope we can collaborate on something like that, and that would be really fun.
That would be a really fun project.
Yeah.
And also like combining it with the art, and you know, like artists that are interested in like putting their art into the sounds of brain.
100%.
Yeah.
I can think of a few artists. I can already tell you one artist that I'm working with. His name is Grief Support. He is all about, you know, don't be confused by his name, you know, to think that is, you know, it's not a therapy thing. It's more so about like his whole thing is how discovery and new environments and exploring new environments impact our creative outputs. So like his idea is that like the best thing you can do to overcome anything in life is being creative and discovering new things and letting those new things impact how you create. And so, you know, I'm definitely I'm gonna share this video with him. He's gonna see this, and I'm sure he'll have some ideas. Like, so I'll connect you all, and I think there could be something there.
Oh, fantastic! That would be really great. Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, other people who are watching in and tuned in, they can follow. How would be the best way that they could reach you on your Twitter, The Rocket Gallery, correct?
Yeah. They can reach out to Jin, and they can reach out to the Rocket Gallery on Twitter. That's fine.
Amazing.
So that's perfect if they are interested in putting in a project into this environment.
100%. Absolutely. I put there in the Twitch chat, and I'm gonna be tweeting about this throughout the day. I think I'm gonna be exploring here. Why don't you say I would love if maybe Jin, maybe you have a song we can listen, hang out, listen to some music together, explore these spaces. People will come in and explore, and for me, I also want to emphasize to people that the spaces that we spend time in impact how we think. So sometimes if you get into a point in your day where you're at a creative block, or maybe you're reading that same paragraph 3 times in a row, change your space. And maybe you can't, drive somewhere, go somewhere immediately, but you can jump into a space like this and just keep, for me, I keep something like this up on my screen, and I change and go from space to space. It helps me think in different ways. And I think you'll be inspired coming here. So make sure to come to oncyber.io/artflow. And that's going to change your way of thinking. That's going to inspire you. Come join us. We're going to be hanging out. And you can meet Jin. You can meet the architect. You can meet different people here. You never know. I met some of the most inspiring artists in my life hanging out in OnCyber. So I encourage you to jump in and explore today. And thank you for making this space for us, Jin. And appreciate both of you for everything you do here.
Thank you.
Amazing. All right, I'll see y'all here.